Nothing like the smell of fresh chopsticks in the morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. But first, coffee. Nice. Not Ethiopian. It's so cold outside. It's colder than, you guessed it. I had this really weird dream last night. I had a dream that the earth was round. Oh, that was scary. "44 years old at 260 pounds, I could eat a whole pizza, a dozen wings, and 6 beers with no problem. The funny guy was on his way to being the dead guy. Everybody needs a wake-up call. I got mine. Message heard loud and clear. You never forget the one time that you're in an argument with your wife, and she says, 'Get away from me, you big fat Guido.' Today's red pill, I describe it as being cold. Cold. Cold is the best word to use to describe it. You know what else is cold? Corpses. They have no life in them. Cold is usually equated with no life. And not to get too touchy-feely or anything, but warmth is a sign of life. I pray that I never get cold. I pray that you always sense warmth and life from me, from this channel. Stay away from the cold, the dead, the corpses. I remember seeing an ad for an electronic muscle stimulating system for bodybuilding. And that was at least 45 years ago. So I took out a TENS unit that I have. You know what a TENS unit is? It's electronic stimulation. And I put one electrode on one side of my bicep and one on the other. And I adjusted the unit and it made my bicep jump, like literally jump. And it was just moving my it was like flexing my bicep. The weird thing, in a 10-minute session, it turns itself off after 10 minutes. Literally, this arm was 50% bigger than this arm. I got a pump from a TENS unit. It's probably not good for you, but I just wanted to see if there was any truth to electronic stimulation. Because they used to say that Russian bodybuilders or something like that would use these units, and they built these bodies with these electronic stimulation things. And it was odd. After 10 minutes, I had a pump on this bicep. Weird, very weird. Don't do it. I was probably at my strongest from about 35 to 39 years old. Lots of beastly lifting. But I wouldn't trade the years or experience and wisdom. I wouldn't go back. The strength went down, but sanity, clarity, and reason went up. I used to bench press 350 pounds, and actually a fellow on Twitter said, "Well, how come I never saw that in a video?" He goes, "You didn't look that big in your former videos." Dude, there weren't even cell phones back then, let alone video cameras on cell phone. Video cameras were things that you put on your shoulder, like a briefcase kind of thing. So, just for the heck of it, I put 350 pounds on the bar yesterday, just for the heck of it. And literally, I got under it, I took some breaths, and it was as if the bar was welded to the rack. Literally welded. It didn't even budge. It didn't even roll. It did nothing. Reality check there. So I did 10 sets of 10 with 120, and I'm good. and still stronger than 95% of the men my age. Here's something deep about sex. Are you ready? Sex. It's good for a man. It's good for a man. It's good for his body, releasing stress. It's good for a woman. Helps her feel loved, releases stress. And a third entity, the marriage, the relationship, the man, the woman, the marriage. It's a God-given way to celebrate the union. There's some times that a man will just want to have sex, and the wife isn't 100% enthusiastic, but she loves her husband, and he relieves stress. There's times where the wife is just squirmy, needs a little loving, relieving stress, and that's cool. Then there's time where the marriage needs it. The man, the woman, the marriage. A physical, emotional celebration of a new level of love, a new level of bonding, and a confirmation of the integrity of the union after it's been tested. Why do you think things are tested? We get our vehicles inspected to test the integrity of the suspension system, the steering, to make sure everything is strong. When a marriage goes through a test and comes out on the other end of that test doing just fine, you tested the integrity of the marriage. Imagine making love with your spouse after the integrity has been tested. It's a different level of sexual union, a different level. It's not just about pleasure. It's about celebrating each other. Magnificent, isn't it? Unlike most red-pilled teachers, I don't have a sadistic side. They all have a smirk on their face when they drop the cold, hard truth, as if they get some sort of satisfaction out of it. And many of the ones, you know their names. I know them personally. I've broken bread and clinked wine glasses with them. They do get satisfaction out of telling you the cold, hard truth. Weirdos. All of them. Every last one. When the camera is not running, they're weirdos. Socially awkward. Don't doubt me on this. They get satisfaction from it. And it pains me to even drop hard truths because I know someone's going to be squirming, hurting, crying, feeling bad after they hear some of the things that I say at times. Unlike the freaks who enjoy it. Someone will say, well, this beta or this blue pill guy, like they're talking about a diagnosis. And then they'll say, oh, you're such a beta. Oh, you're so blue pill. Wait a minute. The diagnosis now becomes the weapon that I beat you over the head with. I describe you as a beta male, as a blue pill man in blue pill thinking, and then I beat you over the head with those terms. Are the dots connecting yet for you? Cold, dead, corpses. Run to the life, run to the warmth, my friends. Corpses are cold, corpses are dead. Warmth is for the living. You can consume red pill content for about 3 to 4 months, and then it all repeats. It's a loop. The red pill community of men needs new, constantly new, nonstop recruits, or it falls flat on its face. Literally, there's no such thing as red pill 201. There's red pill 101. But there's no advanced red pill studies. Literally, that's why there's new fresh meat, fresh, hurt, crying, divorced, broken up male meat that needs to come around about every 3 to 4 months. Without that, the modern red pill, as you know it, falls flat on its face. Cold, dead, corpses. Question: what about Muslim women? Do they cheat? My answer is this. That's a good question. I don't have a direct answer to that, but there are some people that say women are women and their religion makes no difference. Bottom line, be a high-value man that keeps your woman accountable. Accountability is a beautiful thing. Some of my slogans are, accountability is a beautiful thing. There's joy in commitment. But that being said, also, be a man that doesn't cheat or betray. Don't be a fool. Don't be a cuck. You don't allow your woman even the opportunity to cheat. Now, if she's hell-bent on it, she's going to do it. That's the reality. But you don't have to be a controlling dick, but you are protecting the marriage. And that's one of the things that you should vet for. That's why I don't like strong, independent women. That independent means independent of you. That's what that means. Strong? I don't mind a strong woman. I like a strong woman. I don't want a puppet. I don't need a robot. I don't need a zombie that just does everything I say, that never challenges me because I think I'm right all the time. But I don't want a dependent either. So let's just take dependency out of it. How about this? How about a strong, interdependent woman? How beautiful is that? Ladies and gentlemen. The phrase, "who hurt you?" actually is a valid question when not meant as an insult. Man Twitter is the biggest reactionary shit show I have seen. No different than feminist Twitter. Do you ever think about this? A halfway decent podcast has more listeners/viewers than any CNN or MSNBC broadcast. That's where we've come in society. People say, but I don't like Fox News. I don't like Fox News either. They just happen to have more viewers than CNN or MSNBC or any of the three major networks. But good podcasts are phenomenal. Someone said, well, then where should I get my news from? And I always think a variety of sources. Never get your news, because it's all a production. Everything that you see on TV is the Truman Show. It's 3, 2, 1, action. That's what it is. I like the Epic Times on Twitter, reading them online. I like Breitbart News when they're not being smartasses. I like the New York Times for technology and only technology, not social commentary. I like NPR for human interest stories. That's it. But for world news, national news in America, forget it. I like Rush Limbaugh for reason. I like Mark Levin for legal commentary, and a handful of others that are not on TV. Those are some of my sources for news, none of which are linked, related. Pick your news wisely. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you Monday morning on the Daybreak Show, the home of sanity, clarity, and reason.